LCD and keyboard interfacing. These are the most widely used kind of applications as far as microcontrollers are considered. So, as a part of microcontroller and its application, this is the session where we will be talking about keyboard interfacing. So, that there is a small kind of a presentation where we will be understanding what exactly is uh, interfacing associated with keyboard when it is carried out with microcontroller, what exactly is done and how the keys are considered. Main objective of this session is to understand uh, the interfacing of keyboard with microcontroller by means of the arrangement of rows and columns in the beginning, and then while interfacing, what exact considerations we have to do based on the debounce time and the sequence with which we are going to scan. So scanning mechanism plays very important role. So for that purpose, what are the steps? So that particular also we will discuss. So main objective is to understand structure of keyboard and accordingly the rows and columns interfacing, and then understanding the sequence or the steps to be followed while interfacing. As a part in the end, a small program in assembly language also I will be illustrating you how to interface keyboard with 8051. Now, in general, keyboards are organized in the matrix of rows and columns, as all of you know. So there are different versions, like it may be a 4 by 4 kind of a keypad, or it may be 8 by 8, or it may be application specific kind of a matrix is also formed. So in general, CPU accesses both rows and columns through ports. Therefore, with two 8-bit ports, an 8 by 8 matrix of keys can be connected to the microprocessor or even to the microcontroller. When the key is pressed, a row and a column make a contact. Otherwise, there is no connection between rows and columns. So, in general, uh, we are having like 4 by 4 kind of a matrix connected to two ports. The rows are connected to the output port and the columns are connected to the input port. If no key has been pressed, then reading the input port will yield in 1 second for all columns, just since they are all connected to VCC. And if all the rows are grounded and the key is pressed, then one of the column will have 0, since the key press provides the path to ground. It is the function of the microcontroller to scan the keyboard continuously to detect and identify the key pressed and exactly how it is carried out. In general, in IBM PC keyboards, a single microcontroller consisting of microprocessor, RAM and EEPROM and several ports, all are on the single chip, takes care of hardware and software interfacing of the keyboard. Here, it is the function of program stored in the EEPROM of the microcontroller to scan the keys continuously, identify which one has been activated and present it to the motherboard. In case of our microcontroller based application, we will be just taking care how it is interfaced and what exactly the key, after pressing the key, is going to be the effect. The rows are connected to the output port and the columns are connected to an input port. And if all the rows are grounded, a key is pressed, one of the columns will have 0, since the key pressed provides path to ground. If no key has been pressed, reading the input port will yield once. That is, within a second it is going to understand once for all columns, since they all are connected to VCC. So that is high. So here you can see the structure is a matrix, as if say numbering of column is 0, 1, 2, 3. Then accordingly say D0, D1, D2 and D3. So we are talking about the data lines, and rows again D0, D1, D2, D3. Port 1 output, and there it is for port 2 input, like say for example. And switches as if are there. When you press, there is a kind of a make and break mechanism. When you press the switch, that is the respective key is pressed, then the corresponding column and row intersection and contact will take place. Like there are row column intersection, the intersecting points or those switches which are represented in the figure, they are nothing but representing the respective key. So 0, 1, 2, 3, first row corresponds to these 4 keys. Then second row corresponds to 4, 5, 6, 7. Then the third row corresponds to 8, 9, A and B. So it's a hexadecimal keypad. And last row corresponds to C, D, E and F. So for 4 by 4, this is a structure. Now it is the function of the microcontroller to scan the keyboard continuously to detect and identify the key pressed. To detect the pressed key, the microcontroller grounds all rows by providing 0 to the output latch. Then it reads the column. If the data read from columns is, the lines are D3 to D0, that is 1, 1, 1, 1. No key has been pressed and the process continues till the key press is detected. If one of the column bit is 0, then that means key pressed has occurred. For example, if suppose say we D3 to D0 combination is 1, 1, 0, 1. So meaning is D1 has been made 0. This means that key in the D1 column has been pressed. After detecting a key press, microcontroller will go through the process of identifying the key. Starting with the top row, the microcontroller grounds it by providing a low to row D0 only. It reads the columns. If the data read is all ones, no key in that row is activated and the process is moved to the next row. It grounds the next row, reads the columns and checks for any 0. So continuously, that is whenever key is pressed, meaning is void 0 and respective column is also made 0. Otherwise, just it will continue. After identification of the row in which the key has been pressed, now find out which column is pressed. That is which column it belongs to. So once the row and column is identified, you will get the respective code. Like say for example here, first case D3 to D0 combination is 1, 1, 1, 0 for row and D3 to D0 1, 0, 1, 1. This is for column. So the row belongs to D0 because you can see in the row D0 bit, first part, A question or A example you consider. So first set is D3 to D0, 1, 1, 1, 0. So D0 bit is 0, meaning is that first of all we have to go to row corresponding to D0. So horizontally you see. Then there are 4 possible keys, 3, 2, 1 and 0. Out of that, which one is pressed? Now read D3 to D0. Which column is made 0? 1, 0, 1, 1. Meaning is that D0, D1, D2. D2 is made 0. So you see D2 is connected to which key? Key number 2. And row is D0. So D0 is 0 and D2 is 0. Row D0 is 0. Column D2 is 0. Meaning is that key number is 2. You can find out in the figure. Identify that. Then second one is, say for example, B example, D3 to D0 is equal to 1, 1, 0, 1. So from LSB side, immediate second bit is 0. LSB bit corresponds to D0 row. Then next bit corresponds to D1 row. So since D1 bit is 0, that is row is D1. Now which are the keys available? 4, 5, 6 and 7. So out of these 4 keys, there will be anyone. Now check the column combination. Column status is D3 to D0. So 0, 1, 1, 1. Meaning is that D3 bit is 0. Now you see D3 column and row is D1. So D1 and D3 intersection is happening at key number 7 when both of them are 0 and therefore key number 7 was pressed in this situation. So this way we are identifying. Now for scanning entire keyboard, these are some of the steps which we are following. We have to do the process, entire process properly. Starting with the top row, the microcontroller grounds one by one, providing low to row D0 only, then it reads the column. If the data read is all once, no key is activated and the process is moved to next row. If any one bit from column set is 0, then immediately it will refer the respective row and accordingly take the decision. So following are the steps in general which are carried out. When all columns are found to be high, the program waits for a short amount of time before it goes to the next stage of waiting for a key to be pressed. To see if any key is pressed, the columns are scanned over and over in an infinite loop until one of them has a 0 on it. Now remember here that the output latches connected to rows still have their initial zeros provided in stage 1, making them grounded. After the key press detection, it waits 20 milliseconds. So this is a debounce time for the bounce and then scans the column again. A fraction of time which may be skipped. So it is going to wait for 20 milliseconds. It ensures that the first key press detection was not an erroneous one due to a spike noise. The key press, if after 20 millisecond delay the key is still pressed, then it goes back into the loop to detect a real key press. Why this care is taken, or this 20 millisecond is playing important role? Because abruptly just anyone may touch the key and release. So it may not be there in the pressed state. So it will be difficult for microcontroller to take decision. So as to make it simpler, conventionally minimum 20 milliseconds key closure is to be encountered by the microcontroller. Then only it will declare that the respective key is pressed. Otherwise, to detect which row key press belongs to, it grounds one row at a time, reading the columns each time. If it finds that all columns are high, this means that the key press cannot belong to that row. Therefore, it grounds the next row and continues until it finds the row the key press belongs to. The next is, upon finding the row that the key press belongs to, it sets up the starting address for the lookup table holding the scan codes, that is ASCII, for that row. To identify the key press, it rotates the column bits one bit at a time into the carry flag and checks to see if it is low. Upon finding the 0, it pulls out the ASCII code for that particular key from the lookup table. Otherwise, it increments the pointer to point to the next element of the lookup table. This is a general flow. So first step is ground all rows. Then second step, read all columns. Then check whether all keys are open or closed. All keys are open. If yes, proceed. Read all columns. All keys down. Wait for a debounce. Read all columns. All keys down. Yes. Then ground the next row. Check all keys down. Find which key is pressed. Get scan code from the table and then return. So this is general sequence. If all keys are open, the answer is in the first flowchart itself. If all keys open, answer is no, then go back and read all columns once again. On the same line, if in the second flowchart you can see, after read all columns instruction, if no all keys are down, then also it will immediately go for reading the columns. So the arrow mark is indicated. If it is no, then directly go to read all columns step of the flowchart. And once all keys are down, if it is yes, then ground next row. All keys down, yes, find which key is pressed and get scan code from the table. So table is holding the respective key code row wise. Is a small subroutine. Say for example, what we are doing is P1.0 to P1.3 we are going to connect to rows and P2.0 to P2.3 connected to column. The small subroutine. In the end, I have given the ASCII code table also for the respective key code. that is key code 0 to key code 3, whatever 8 total, 16 specific characters are there. 4 by 4 matrix we are considering, so that is also given in the end. Now see here, first step P2 comma hash 0ff. So P2 is our input port. It is made input port because our rows and columns are associated. For P2 columns are associated. Then second one is P1 comma hash 0. Ground all rows at once. Then move A comma P2. Read all columns for ensuring whether key is open or not. Then and logically A comma 0000111B. So what we are doing, masked unused bits CZNE A comma hash 0000111B comma K1. So till all keys release. Again compare jump if not equal to accumulator contents. Then call delay. Then move A comma P2. So see if any key is pressed. Here it is again and logically A comma 0000111B. Mask unused bits. Then CJNE A comma 00001111. Over here key pressed, find row. Now you find the row. Jump is jump, again K2. 20 milliseconds delay is given. Then over loop A call delay, move A comma P2, check key closure, and logically ANL A comma 00001111. So mask unused bits. Then CJNE again A comma 00001111B. So key is pressed, find row, and if not pressed, then go on doing the same thing. Now next part is move P1 comma. Now again ground row 0. So 11111110 B binary pattern. Therefore we have attached everywhere there B. Then move A comma P2. Whatever is in PT, read all columns. So and logically A comma now 00001111 mask unused bits. Then compare jump if not equal to A comma hash 00001111B comma row. So key is the row, find now the column. Next is ground row 1 P1 comma 11111101. So ground row 1. Then whatever is the answer from P2 you send it to A. Again and logically A with 00001111 mask unused bits. Key row is 1. Now again find column. So ground row. So one by one we are repeating the same thing, nothing else. So we are masking unused bits. We are again reading all the columns. We are grounding the respective row. How many times you have to do it? First of all ground 0, then ground 1, then ground 2, and then ground 3. So all these 4 rows are one by one scanned. And then next, so we have written here routines. So when row 0 is there, then move dptr comma hash key code. So set dptr to start of the row 0, find column is jump find routine. What is written? See rrc a JNC match increment dptr and sjump find. Now rrc what it will do? See if any carry bit is low, because there are 4 bits. So we are interested in making column as well as row 0. How we are identifying is we are going to rotate the accumulator contents, because already accumulator has been taken care. Now if suppose a particular bit is 0, since we are rotating through carry, so that carry bit will become low, and we are checking jump if not carry match. So if jump if not a carry, that means if carry is 0, then go there for matching, clear accumulator and move C A comma @ a plus dptr. So whatever that dptr pointer memory is pointing, and there all the key codes are there. If it is row 0, then from 0, 1, 2 or 3, whatever is the answer, that will be provided, and that is sent to P0 port, and again L jump, and it will go back to key 1 routine. starting point of the program. Secondly, if it is row 1, same thing, only it will go to key code 1. Hash key code 0 defined byte, we have stored 4 key codes. Hash key code 1, there are again 4 key codes, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hash key code 2, again there are 4 key codes. And hash key code 3, again there are 4 codes, C, D, E, F. Now in 4 routines, row 0, if it is row 0, then key code 0. Row 1, if it is row 1, then DPTR key code 1. If it is row 2, DPTR key code 2. And if it is row 3, key code 3. And for column purpose, what we are doing? By find loop, small loop is there. RRC instruction is used. Rotate through carry. So how many times it will do that? Simple, rotate unless based on the status of the carry. If jump, if not carry. If carry is 0, then immediately go to match loop. Or if carry is 1, then increment DPTR. We don't want 1 carry. Increment DPTR and sjump find. Once again do the same thing. So accordingly, for row 0, row 1, row 2 and row 3, all 4 combinations, you can see in the end that key code 0 is storing defined byte as key code 0, 1, 2, 3, row 0. Key code 1 is storing 4, 5, 6, 7. Key code 2 is storing 8, 9, AB. And key code 3 is storing C, D, E and F. So this is one way, that is using assembly language of scanning the keyboard and identifying which key is pressed. As a practical part, we will be writing the code but in embedded C, because it becomes comparatively much simpler, and simultaneously we will be interfacing LCD also, so that whichever key we have pressed, we will able to get its display on the LCD. So in Proteus, I will show you the simulation in coming sessions, where the program presentation in embedded C, general purpose code for interfacing keyboard, I will be illustrating, and along with that Proteus simulation. So as far as this session is considered, we have discussed, definitely you might have learnt that what is keyboard. If 4 by 4 as an example, we have taken the keypad. So rows and columns and the concept behind, that is the particular key closure is identified only when both row and column, respective row and column, whichever key you need accordingly, is made 0. So in the beginning part, first of all rows, columns are made 0. Columns are made 1. Testing is done. Rows are made 1. Testing is done. And then according to our real-time requirement, the connections are done for rows and columns, and the particular match is found out. So this is general way of interfacing keyboard with 8051. In the program practical session, in that presentation, I will demonstrate you through embedded C code how to interface keyboard. Thank you.